50 years ago, Don McLean's American Pie album was released, and the title song became a #1 hit in the USA and 4 other nations, making him an international rock star. Follow-up international hits like Vincent and Crying led to over 20 successful world tours. American Pie was Don's magnum opus to rock and roll. It's a ballad that recalled the airplane crash of rock and roll's Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and the big bopper J.P. Richardson. The song also captured America's cultural shift in the 60s. Tonight, we honor the 50th anniversary of American Pie and its singer and songwriter, Don McLean. Don,
thank you.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
You know, this song has been interpreted by everybody who's ever heard it, and they tried to figure out what you meant. I read something you said I thought was beautiful. You said, don't overthink it. It's poetry. So have we overthought the lyrics to the song?
My idea was, and I have these ideas for songs that are really almost like inventions. And what I decided was that politics and music influence each other going forward. So that's the idea of the song, that the music gives you the political world that you want, and the political world gives you back the music that you get. And it's oscillating and moving forward as society changes, as people become different because of time and all sorts of events, politics, whatever. I was up in this little room where I used to write songs, and I sang into the tape recorder a long, long time ago, and it started all the way through to the day the music died.
It just popped in your head.
That whole thing.
Wow.
And I looked at it, it was like a genie that came out of a bottle. I said, whoa, what is that? And I said, man, I love this, And I came up with the idea of American Pie. And when I looked at those words together, I said, whoa, that looks great. That's perfect. That's exactly what I want. It's not apple pie, and it's not America this, it's American Pie. And I thought, boy, that is so there I was inspiring myself, Well,
you inspired a whole country and a whole world. I mean, did you have any earthly idea that this song would take on a life of its own? Well, and 50 years later, it's still an iconic song that we listen to.
If you can imagine, my father was Scottish, my mother was Italian, and my father made $15,000 a year, and we lived in a nice house, and I went to college. I had a little time, we had a little beach club we belonged to. Good life on $15,000. That's how much money was worth. That first year, I got handed a check for $1 million.
Whoa.
And that was in 1971.
That's a lot of money in 1970. Yeah. You know what? That's a lot of money now.
And so it was so overwhelming.
Wow.
And I was always thinking about my father, First of all, what would he think about this,
Yeah.
And that was just the start.
It's pretty fascinating. Of all the thousands and thousands of songs that have been recorded throughout the entire century, American Pie was listed in the top 5 songs out of tens of thousands of songs, top 5 of the most influential songs of the entire century. That's a pretty big deal, Don. A pretty big deal.
Thank you. Well, it keeps coming back to what would my father think, but
I think he'd be pretty doggone proud of you.
I think he'd probably tell me I should have had a real job, but that's just another story.
When he saw that paycheck from American Pie, I think he probably said, I would like to have been a singer-songwriter myself.
I don't know. I had for a lot of years in New Rochelle, I was a joke. A guy who quit school and didn't make it as a singer, and went back to school, and people, him, blah, blah, blah. Well, recently in my hometown, they unveiled a 40 or 50-foot high mural on the side of a building, and it's me. Because New Rochelle put up about 10 different murals, and they're all beautiful.
And that's got to be the greatest feeling in the world to all those people that thought,
once again,
Don McLean will never make it. Well, you did.
Yeah.
And you know what? The greatest evidence of you having made it is you're on my show, and you're going to do American Pie with us.
I am. I'm going to do it.
Does it get any better than that? No.
Can't wait.
Well, in a moment, Don is going to perform his 50-year-old hit, American Pie. But right now, here's Keith to tell you how you can get more of the music of Don McLean.
For all things Don McLean, including his October release of Still Playing Favorites and even your own signed Don McLean merchandise, go to his website, donmclean.com, and listen to all of Don McLean's music on Spotify.